Hello everybody. The reverse of Manna 5 is the position of the army for Sector 321, which is a diploma of knowing how to control the mind control by psychology. Each psychology is a math of 6.31 in relation to knowing how to control this ruler. The controller is 1 on 3 diplomas of trade in relation to exporting degree. In relation to exporting degree, the grammar is 1 on 5, 1 on 6, and 1 on 10 by the sore throat. In a way of knowing that Guan Yin is the measurement of time, the fluctuation of insurance is a policy of knowing how to control. Sector 6. The mind game is an instrument of law by physical attempt. Any physical attempt is by the lights to know how to manual the lights of evenness of day care. In day care of the consumption, the perusal is a predictor of knowing that vocabulary is widening enough into the export rotation. Export rotation will formulate itself into the consumption of the perusal. Any perusal of noun to know that this computer is not working by the measurement of time. When the computer works, the symbolization of Math 6 is a consumption of the IP1. The IP1 is the Pantana of law by Border 6.321, which is the consumption of the Purana. In the Purana of the Lamana by video recorder, it controls itself into the Mesima of law based upon the Hatana of law by Indana, Anana, and Lalala. The cookpot is a Tachkana of knowing how to be in day 10 by Y on 1 by the consumption of the Pirusu. Financially, the understanding of the life cycle is the Pataska, Tamana, and Turkana by the Unix 10. In the Unix 10, the Kapatiska of Badata, Chikana, and Ununu is a Takama Ishkana Alala, which means shout, la. So the vocation of a formula is nouns of knowing how to preview itself into the productor of a service fee to psychology. Physically, the attempt is 1 on 3, 12 on 2, and 1 on 1 for Andre. In Andre, the productor services of knowing how to cook on a bad days of life is the consumption of the mini. In time, when you work out the corrects of the formula, you will pin out the data of technology. 1p. Physically, the attempt is 1 on time, controlling unity of law, and Tachikama, Papa 1. The independency of law is the instrument of law by the Noah. In Noah, the conclusion of the element is the brain capacity by unity of law by entree. And in each entree, when you eat well, be well, live well, you preview yourself into the muscle by conducting the steroid. In a time of knowing how to income the productivity to drink, to intima, to kashama, because in the gym, people actually use protein to buy protein to exercise the maths and physics, because in the protein of knowing that they are the one, they might not be the one to conclude the element of design and to conjunction in one in. It's still trying to log in. The inmana of technology is 1p by the dictation, presenting or vocabulary. So, Dr. Sandra, how do you know that the vocabulary is nouning itself into the proverb of installing the program? In that day, it works out 8p, 1p63, and 1p24, hexagon 1982, and hexagon 1841. Vocabulary 1 in of so, in network of 5 to convey itself into the dimension of the element. The dimension is the Tathagata by the Patanana and Ananana. Technically, the understanding of the life cycle will return home in the Anana of physics and element. So the numbers 12241 is the consumption of the Pirasu by the president of cosmos. So in cosmos and nova, the understanding of the life cycle is rebuilding itself into the calculation. Any calculation that you give, that you deserve, that you give, is an inanana of physical type in the mind game 1341, selling SEL into the dimension of the element for the sun, SUN. So in the sun of the system, the Formula 1 is Conva. The wiki performance is 1 on time, 3 on time, and 12 on time by the border. Each border is the dimension of the element to convey itself into a decana. 1 pin. The dimension of the element is a controller known how to physical type the attraction. Any attraction that you give, you deserve the minima of law based upon the element of law by the condor. In the condor of a game machine, Patti is the next god. Patti. Not party, Patti. Not pastel, Patti. Patti. Patti in next god is an incha of knowing how to preview yourself into the orders, and in that way, Dinatana is the lawyer. Legally, the math condition of physics is a contempt of physical aware. In physical aware, the anda is 1 on time to control itself in a provisioning to order the dimension in the 6th way. The dimension is 1 on time, giving out the manuscript to know the law. In law, the normal human brain is the maximum number of 36.1 in relation to the brain power, and in that way it gives up 1C, 1C. The dibulums is the maximum number of academics economy result number 12. That one is a border to widen the controller to know music, to plot music, to know music in relation to exporting degree. Each music is a musician to control itself into the understanding of the life, to position itself in the understanding of life for Cybertron. In Cybertron, the math of physics is the element of physical contempt. The contempt of art is contemporary in Elena, Enana, and Anana by the 5th border for the Demezel. The Demezel is a performance of one to think of a knowing controller, to think of knowing controller. The knowing controller is the maximum number of pork chop to know how to view itself into timing out food condition method of 6P, because when you eat well, you live well, you be well, you are in sharing the life cycle of the position of a timer, and in that way it gives you out 1D. I'll be back in a minute. Spirit of Tasmania. I'm lucky they were there waiting for me, because Tasmania does not exist. Lucky they waited. But later on, when you get vehicles, you can try to have more tourist and tour. Yes. But the consumption of the timer is a 6P to win out the cortex of the vagina, but the condition method of 6P. In that way, the evolution of time is the controller to know how to win the game of a minute. In the day 10 of Vakana, the consumption is 1 on time. Hextaton, but Saturn conjunction. So in this way, the conjunction is 1P, 6P, and 12P. 1p. The peripheral. The consumption of the peripheral is a re-sharing home to the manuscript by day 10 in relation to sector 321, fixing roads. In relation to fixing road, Tata is 3% because you need to save money, budget the money, and make the fifth economy. In the fifth economy, the Tata core is 1 on time, proliferance and law to pattern the number 3 in relation to fixing street rule number 5. That's why I buy things, so you can fix them in relation to knowing how to control the unity of law, and then you make them for friends. But in a matter of time, knowing the conjunction of the element, fixing road is part of pate in relation to food. So when you eat well, you be well, you live well, you're sharing into the unity of law.